Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Kelly Tippett and this is Emulsion on Rumble. First, let me tell you a little bit about myself since this is the first episode that I'm doing, and then we'll get right on into it. This is going to be about taking pictures at the water park. I was a photojournalist probably for about 19 years. I started out doing ad photography for a newspaper. I did some, news station stuff, video news, but as far as still photography goes, I started out doing ad photography. I did copywriting. I moved to full-time photojournalist. I was using, my first camera was a Minolta. I went into a Pentax. Then we went to Nikon D1 Digital. That was like 1999. Then the D2, and then I ended up with Pentax and Canon Digital and things like that. Let's get into the water park. All right, it's currently May 2023 and summer is approaching. And what I want to talk about is taking pictures at water parks. Depending on what your end result, what you want that to be. If you just want to be a satisfactory picture you feel good about and passionate about with your family in action with something just vibrant, that's good. If you want to do it commercially, I'll cover a little bit of that. And if you want to do it for editorial, where you don't need people to sign off on things, we'll talk a little bit about that. Let's go with just a satisfactory idea that you want to get, a photo concept or something that shows something vibrant and fun. And then once we get that photo, we'll talk about the other aspects. All right, at water parks, they have slides and little surf areas and things like that. This particular photo that I really enjoyed taking, and I love the results of it, was a little wade pool. And in that wade pool, it had a giant mushroom that came up. It had a stalk and then it umbrellaed out. And it had a 360, 380. Is it 380, 360? You know what I'm saying? A full circle, and the water came out all around it and down like a waterfall. And then my wife got under, I got under there for a little while and let the water hit me. She got under there and let the water hit her, and we took turns. While you're the subject matter underneath the water, you can do different things. Wipe your face, wipe the water off, have expressions and that, and just go through the motions. And the other person can be just taking the pictures, just constantly boom, 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 getting this natural look and everything. Now, I'm more familiar with the photography, focusing and settings and that, and you can just put it in auto too. Cell phones, just auto. Your DSLR cameras, you can put in auto. And so if you're using a camera, you got to focus in that, mark you off a little spot or put a pencil down, or, you're just take your shoe off or put your flip-flop there or wherever you're at. And that way you let the other person know where to stand. You've already focused it where you're standing, where the subject matter is. When you hand them the camera, it's already focused for them and everything. They just got to push the button. But if it's just a cell phone, they already know how to do all that, and you can do it vertical or horizontal, whatever y'all decide. But basically it's just stand under the water, let it hit you, do the motions, and the other person snaps the picture. Okay, now, so we have the photograph, all right? So you have to decide on how close you want to zoom in on that person, how close you want to get, what all you want to, when you take the picture, what you're wanting to crop out. So you decided how you're going to take the picture, and you probably do that right from the start. But here's something you need to know before you decide on how to take the picture. Is what the end result's going to be. If it's just y'all having fun, open it up. You can get all Bobby's snack bar in the back and all that. I suggest moving in and getting that water too. Get a good close-up of that water splashing on them and things like that. And you can sharpen it. You want to make that water a little more crystal clear. If you're doing it for yourself, it's fine. Just do whatever you want to do to make it look right. But if you're submitting it somewhere, I wouldn't really sharpen it. If you're submitting it to an agency, they can do all that themselves, how they want to do it. They may want to dull it, they may want to just blur it totally and put text on it. There's no telling. But for yourself, just do whatever you want. It looks right. And if you move too far out and you see these names of these rides or the names of people's shirts, Nike and Adidas on it, or whatever the the brand is or whose shop that is. You can't really use that commercially unless you have permission. So if you're submitting it somewhere, you might want to, close in on just the area where the water's splashing down and everything. Even the object itself that's doing the splashing, it may have a certain color pattern to it and everything, so you can, you can get close enough where you don't see all that. And lots of times, if you focus on your subject, the things in the background will, be blurred. So you may not see the exact name of the fish and chips place behind you, but you may see kind of, just blurred objects, and people can get the hint of what's back there. Getting the picture of the slide, it's a blue slide. Now it may be a yellow, wherever you're at, may be a different color. But just cropping into that slide and seeing the people coming down it, or however you do it from above, from the side, whatever you decide to do. That slide could be anywhere, so you may not need to get anybody to sign off on it for commercial photography. For editorial, I don't believe you need any kind of sign off or anything, and for your family. But if you're going to do it with models and that, you get the models, get their release form signed and everything for you, and your release form signed you do for yourself, and just take the picture and do it at the start by getting close enough to where you see just the blue, just a water slide. It can be anywhere in the world, no specific water slide. And then get your models to sign off and do it editorial. And they don't have to sign off and you do it editorial, but get them to sign off and you do it commercial. I guess that's what I'm saying. Also, there's this photo of my stepson. He's on a little surfboard, and they have this wave pool, or this a tidal wave or whatever they call it, where the water's shooting up, and he's on it and he's surfing it as it's going. So I took pictures of that, a series of pictures, and so you see me hone in on that and get a decent one. Thank you for watching, and I hope this gives you an idea of, when you go to the water park, think about finding that little mushroom waterfall, the water slide. You may not want to take a wide angle of the water slide, or if you do, you may want to incorporate some close shots of that water slide. So if you use them later, you can use them commercially with just your models, but you don't have anything in the background where you got to get extra model releases or pay money to have the releases. And then, because some of these stock photos, you might get 10 cents off each one, but I've gotten $82 off one. So basically, you're just doing it for fun. For me, I'm just, sure, you'd like to get a lot of money from them, but you got to satisfy yourself first. You don't want to be wasting your time, so you want to do something you enjoy.